Florida State hasn't had a day like this in a while. Can you just...
First of all, I'm going to say I'm so happy for our seniors. That's what I'm really happy for. What they've been through the last 4 years here, and all the controversy from the academics to the coaching, things that they had no control over. And these guys didn't say anything, they didn't complain, they just lined up and played and worked and did everything we asked them to do. And have that last game in Doak Campbell and have a victory against the Gators and do that one, it means that's who I'm truly, truly happy. I'm happy for all of our kids, but those seniors, what they've been through here, that's a special group of seniors that's going out in this class.
And the fans really enjoyed it too. Kind of talk about them and.
Oh, the atmosphere was great. The fans were great. I think they had an effect on the game and the communications early, and that atmosphere out there can be like that tremendously all the time. And that's what we need if we're going to go to where we want to go to and make ourselves significant in the country again and make it tough to come in here in Doak Campbell and play football games. My hat's off to the fans. They were excited, and our kids played well and responded to them.
And you can appreciate what it means to them. Obviously, this this streak, and I mean.
It does. I appreciate exactly right. And, anytime you can break a streak of 6 years, the Gators are a great football team. They're a great football program. Urban's a heck of a football coach. They do a great job. And, to have a win against a quality opponent like that, especially after 6 years of not being able to beat them, is a great thing for our fans, our players, and everybody involved with Florida State.
Jimbo, that was the first time that Urban had not been able to execute a fake punt. He was 8 for 8 during his career. First of all, were you aware of that? Did you guys see it coming? And then what kind of a turning point did you think that?
Well, I thought it was a big turning point that we were able to score right after that, and he's playing to win the game, and he does a great job at that. But we know that they have a tradition of doing that, so we've worked on a ton of different fakes and different things they did, and tried to use indicators and keys, and made our kids very aware of those situations because they're a great special teams team, and that was something we worked on hard all week, and Coach Graham did a tremendous job of having our guys prepared.
Jimbo, you looked like you broke down a little bit at midfield there. Got a little misty. Just talk about your emotions.
Well, at the end, after it was already over with, I mean, you put so much passion into something, and you want something, and not for myself, I want it for those seniors. I really do. I mean, I understood what those guys have persevered through and went through and fought through, and after I realized that, and then Christian came up there and he hugged me, and he had tears in his eyes, and I know what it meant to him, and that's why you coach. You coach for those kids to have that feeling. I mean, we all want to win, don't get me wrong, as coaches, and you do all that. But you're in this game for the kids. And that's the thing we all forget about at times. Whether it's media, whether it's fans, whether it's coaches, whether it's administrators, none of us would have a job if it wasn't for those kids. And it's about the kids. And that's what I'm the happiest about, that they got to experience that joy in Doak Campbell in their last game.
Coach, I guess you got a little bit less of a break between games than you thought you were going to get.
That's what it sounds like. I think they said they just scored and got it back to 14, so we'll have to wait and see. I guess when y'all keep me. Am I keeping a ticker going right there?
38-24.
Is that what it is? But what I was happy about too, and I want to make this statement. Our kids could have been thinking about that, but they didn't. We didn't. That's why we kept the focus on playing Florida and having success against Florida and doing what we had to do, and I thought that was huge too.
Can you talk about the job that Christian did today?
I've said this all along. The guy is as good as I've had. When people function around him, the guy he's as good as there is in this country. And he's been banged, he's been bruised, the pain he's played with, the toughness he's played with. You can't understand what that kid is like. And you don't get to coach guys like that very often. And I truly believe this. I think the guy right behind him's got the same demeanor. I really say that all the time. But that guy, and he don't complain, and he takes all the blame when sometimes it's not his fault, it's somebody else's. It's what great kids with character do. And the way he went out there and played in his final game, I mean, he was sticking that ball in holes and making plays and getting us in and out of runs and checks and jumping around and making runs. The guy is the ultimate competitor. And he's the ultimate. I wish I could coach him for 1,000 years. I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
What do you say to that? You mentioned the big play. Brady's fumble in the touchdown. What a turning point that was.
I think it was huge. I mean, the turnovers, and we took advantage of them in the red zone, scored touchdowns down. The first time we had the touchdown, we just missed it. I mean, we're just a hair high and had to throw, and we missed it, and we converted touchdowns. And turnovers, like I say, turnovers, penalties, and big plays, that's the key to all games. And that we were able to get those and capitalize on them, and they were huge in the game.
What did you say to Christian?
I loved him, and he said he loved me, and I said I love coaching him, and I'm just so happy for him because he can be cemented now as one of the great Florida State quarterbacks of all time. I mean, to be able to break the streak, do what he did, establish what he's established here, and bring Florida State back to national promise and put us back up here and with the rest of that senior class. Because I'm going to tell you guys, and I said this all year long, his numbers may not have 3,000 yards, but what the people are watching when they watch Christian Ponder play, I hope you have a respect for it.
Jimbo, halftime you had that lead, but you guys saw, I'm sure everybody saw yesterday, a lot of leads at halftime went away.
Yeah, and it was exactly the same score.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same daggone score, and that was a bad thing. And we did reiterate it. I said, we wanted to go out there and win the second half. We didn't want to go out there and have it given to us and hope to win. You got to go take those things, and that was something we're working on. And we come out and got the big 3-and-out, got the turnover back immediately, took a drive down and scored. And the one I wish was the second drive right there. We only had the ball twice in the third quarter, and I wish we could have got that daggone drive and we were moving right there and missed the third down. That they grabbed the guy right there. But I thought we could have converted, and that would have really been a big one. But we reestablished the lines of scrimmage on both sides when we went back out in the second half, and we were able to execute and did a good job on third down again. I think we were 8 of 15 again on third down, and converting on Christian was doing a great job. Him and Bo Relaford were converting a lot of third downs in there, and we're very happy with that.
They scored 127 points against you in the last 3 games, but tonight you settled to 7. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I think our defense did a great job. They've been a couple times, made plays in the red zone, and I thought our kicking game did another tremendous job in that. And when you go back to points, and I keep saying this, you win those field position wars. We were kicking the ball inside of 10-3. It's hard. Guys, you go 80 yards in the game one time, that's about the most you're ever going to go. We had them pinned back. They had to kick off early, which set up the score. And after that, most of the kickoffs, except for the one we kicked out of bounds, we had them pinned back, and they had to go long distances. And that's hard to do against a good defense. And that's what we were doing earlier in the year. And I keep saying that field position had a lot to do with success. And our defense was physical up front, did a good job on the run, and hit on the quarterbacks in the passing game, handled those situations, and made really good plays. And our defense got some turnovers down there that we were able to capitalize on. And I thought this was a complete team win. I thought our special teams played well, I thought our defense played well, and I thought our offense played well.
Jimbo, you threw very well against a very good pass defense.
Yes, we did.
How were you able to pass those things?
Well, I think, first of all, it started with protection. We were able to pick up the blitzes. Christian was doing a great job in our line of identifying their blitzes, the people, and sliding the protections so we could get hats on hats. And he was making reads. He was reading back and forth. He had the ability to go to all 5 guys. And we were getting time in the pocket. When he gets time back there, the guy's going to make decisions. He's accurate. He's got the big-time arm. He's going to hurt you. And he made the plays at the key times.
Follow Rodney Smith's performance?
I thought Rodney Smith just keeps emerging and emerging. I thought he had a really good week of practice, that big body, and he used it well. And he's starting to use his hands well, and he's really growing. And it's great to see him. And good to get Willie back, and he made a big one.
Jimbo, I think you said that Christian led you guys back to national prominence. Is that kind of a big leap? Is that what you said?
Yes, exactly what I said. Yes, I did.
That bigger win?
Yes, because Florida's been as good as anybody in the country for the last 6 years. And I think it puts us up at 9-3, puts us in the ACC championship. So that makes us relevant for BCS bowls. So that puts you back in national prominence. And I ain't saying we're here to win it, but we're heading in the right direction. We ain't winning the national championship. We got a lot of work to do, and we got a lot of work to move on. But we're heading in the right direction, and we're becoming a factor again in this league. We're becoming a factor in the state. And I don't say that arrogantly, but our kids are doing a great job, and very happy for that.
Is it amazing what a difference a year makes for both these programs?
It is. That's what I say. I mean, and the littlest things can turn it. You know what I mean? The littlest things can turn it. And you have to have that chemistry every year, and that's what you got to fight for as a coach. And I say sometimes, media people say, you get caught in guys, but there's chemistry issues, there's injury issues, there's, the littlest things can turn it good and bad, and you got to fight through those times. And our kids persevered this year. I was proud of them.
Jimbo, you talk about
It's huge. That's huge. I mean, that's what you got to do. And they're both very good programs and very talented programs. And now for our seniors to say they did that in the last year, I mean, there's some great teams here that couldn't say that. I mean, that they were able to do that at that time. So.
Jimbo, you were fighting for your life a couple of weeks ago. Now you got a chance to win 11 games. What would that mean?
That's what I say. You never give it. Nothing's ever as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. It's usually somewhere in between. And it's what you do on a day-to-day basis and how you move on and how, like I tell you, control what you can control. Focus on what you can focus on and take it one day at a time and keep moving on. And that's what our kids did. They didn't look at the outside distractions, and they prepared and did well.
Was there a moment this year where these kids really believed they could win any game?
I think the last 2 weeks has started to happen. I mean, I think early they did. And I think they got a little understanding. Once you all start building them up there for a while. And I say y'all, I don't mean that to be. We start getting all the glory. And I always say this: dealing with success is harder than dealing with failure, because you get so full of yourself. That's human nature, and we got. I mean, that happened. But we scratched and clawed, and then we all of a sudden found out we didn't make a play or two, and then to persevere and come back and make the 2 plays we made in the last 2 ball games. We've made them on offense, we've made them on special teams, we've made them on defense, and now they're starting to expect to win and make those plays, and that's what I'm happy about. And I've seen that in the last couple of weeks is when I really started seeing it.
Jimbo, what's it mean to the psyche of the program for you in your first year to win this game at home and get everybody on the same page, fans, boosters?
But what we're capable of doing, and like I say, things are not as bad as they seem, or not as good as they seem, but it's going to take a lot of hard work, and it's going to take all of us, from our players, but our boosters, to understand that we aren't that far away. But we can be that far away if we don't do all the little things, just like I tell our players. But all the things you can do as an organization, as a booster club, to put all the money and raise things and do the things you got to do to get you to the top.
Jimbo, you were head coach